Welcome.
Hello, folks. Well, several of you have contacted me and asked me more about the way I beefed up the rotor head on my Auto Gyro from Durafly and why I did it before I even flew it. Well, the answer is I expected to break blades, remembering from my past experience from 11 years ago with the early versions. Since the blades look the same from 11 years ago and the fact that the spares are very scarce as hen's teeth, I want my best chance at saving them. So the first thing I did to beef up the blades was put a strip of white duct tape on the leading edge. This really strengthens the blade, plus because it's not smooth anymore, it induces drag. But this is good because the wind running into the blades will do better on getting them to spin on a rough blade versus running into a smooth one. And since auto gyros depend on forward flight to get the rotor spinning, this does a pretty good job of doing it, and I've compared the two. Second, I use exactly 3 inches of Ace paint mixing stick to beef up the root of the rotor blade with foam tack and then wipe tape over that. So none of this really seems to affect the performance at all. In fact, I think it flies better, as you're going to see. So next, put in a breakaway nylon bolt size 275 millimeter, and I made the hole slightly enlarged and the bolt screws right in tight with no nut, so that way you can remove it. And I've tested it, and it will break by hand. And next is the flying characteristics. You know, it's a mix between a helicopter, a plane, and a maple seed. And to fly, it helps to know how and why it flies like it does.
Okay, this is my reinforced blades. As you can see here, that's where I have put the sticks, because that's where it always breaks. Next, I also have the nylon breakaway screws in here. And this only spins one way. Somebody made a comment that it's very loud, the run-up. Well, inside here is a loose gearbox on purpose and a speedometer cable, which is flexible, which runs up to the head. You can't make this solid, so they had to do it that way, otherwise you would probably break it. And that's the reason that's done. That doesn't matter. You shut the blade off as soon as you get airborne. Okay, here's the biggest thing about taking off. It's a 3-bladed propeller. The more blades, the more torque it creates. As this thing is going this way, it wants to do this. It wants to roll to the left on takeoff. As soon as you start to take off, you're under full power. This thing is going to try and turn. There's nothing there to keep it from turning. As soon as the wheel clears, it's going to come off the ground this way, that wheel first, and you can expect it wants to lean. And you're going to go, oh my God. So you have to dump in some full right on this. And also note that this thing won't turn unless you use the rudder a lot. So you can fly along and you can give it this, and it's just going to keep going straight. You've got to give it the rudder to get around. Okay, on landing, remember, the tail doesn't work unless you're moving forward or this is blowing air. So shutting this off and trying to glide in, not a good idea, because that means this rotor blade is slowing down and you don't really know when it's going to stop. And when it does, it just will do a tip stall and crash. Or not crash, but you're going to hit the blades. They stick out pretty far here. And they're spinning, and it's very smooth, as you can see. So I hope that explains it to you. Let's go fly it.
And also it'd be a good idea to set a timer. In my case, I've got mine set for 1 minute, every minute.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
And that's to remind me not to land, but to turn off my rotor blade. So the best way to land this thing is to keep the power on. Don't shut it off. Get down low to the ground and land it like an airplane. You've got to keep moving. Otherwise, it will tip, stall, and fall over. Better than it ever was. Ha ha ha. Well, thank you very much, Ilea, for running the camera, and thanks to you folks for watching. I'm looking for excuses to fly this thing, so I hope you may have picked up something from this, especially if you intend to get one of these or you have one. And if you don't mind, I really would appreciate a subscription. So thanks again for watching, folks, and stay well. This is Dave Herbert, the NightFlyyer, signing off to the next episode.